This is TWiT.
Jim, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here. Excited to find out that Perl is in fact not dead, because I was just writing some this morning and it was all working. So I'm excited to find that
out. and Jim, where are you speaking to us from?
I am speaking to you from my home office in Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, where we actually first met, I think. Or did we meet at a conference before that? I can't remember.
Yeah, actually, I think we did. I think we met at an early OSCON, which, sure, as you'll know, was the Perl Conference for several years until they turned it into OSCON and brought in all the other languages. But it was originally the Perl Conference. But I think it was it was OSCON already when we met. Yeah.
It was kind of funny because it was the Perl Conference for like the first 2 or 3 years, and then it became the Perl Conference with some more open source. And then it became sort of OSCON, of which the Perl Conference was a huge track. And then it was just OSCON, and the Perl track became smaller and smaller. So it sort of disappeared.
Actually, as you're saying that, it's reminding me, it was in San Diego when Stonehenge, you guys set up, I think it was a Doom thing where you had computers all set up in the bar, like all networked together. And everybody could come in and just play those. That was the year that I think that's the year that I met you. I remember that now. It was in San Diego. That was awesome. That was cool.
Yeah. You know, I miss those Stonehenge parties. I really miss them. We were the biggest party, the biggest unofficial party, because I never actually bought in to O'Reilly. There was some sort of funding you had to do to pay O'Reilly to have an official party. And so my buddy Bill Harp, rest his soul, used to set up these huge parties. And we made everyone think we were spending 20 or 30 grand, but in secrecy, it was actually about $5,000. And all I needed was one new client. I think actually you and I chatted at one of those parties, and I got to start working with you over at the university, right?
Yep. I think it all came out of that. So we started at that, and then we started working together on a bunch of projects at University of Buffalo. And then it led into, as we were working together on that, I ended up bringing YapC, which I think we'll get into, the conferences that the Perl Foundation gets involved with, brought YapC to Buffalo. And so while we were working together, we also had YapC in Buffalo. So yeah, there was all kinds of stuff going on at that time.
We should probably spell out that YapC is yet another Perl conference for those the people, because there's a few people here who probably haven't heard of Perl, which is, I don't know why they're listening to today's show, but anyway, it's gonna be great. Yeah. So the real reason I brought you here was because you have had the role of being the president of the Perl Foundation for how long?
So I did it for a couple years. I've had a bunch of roles. I was conference chair, and then I was vice president, and then I was president for a while. And then Karen Pauly took over for a while. And she was in for a couple years, and then she stepped down a year and a half ago, I think. And then I came back in as president. So I've been on and off a few times. So I don't know. I haven't added it all up to see what the total time was yet, but it seems like forever. No, it's a long time.
Okay. And has it always been called the Perl Foundation?
So it has, but as you said, and just to get into like sort of the where the Perl Foundation came from, it was originally created as a way to provide insurance for Perl events. So as we talked about, the O'Reilly used to be the Perl Conference before it was OSCON, and there were some people that wanted to get together. It was West Coast. People wanted to do some stuff on the East Coast. They wanted to have a small conference. They couldn't call it the Perl Conference, so they called it yet another Perl Conference. That's where the YapC comes from. So when they actually created things, it was called Yet Another Society. So YAS. So there were some different names for the Perl Foundation when it first started out as Yet Another Society, which is a fun inside joke. But like YapC, Yet Another Perl Conference, it was confusing for people who were not sort of in on the joke, if you will, like your boss when you're asking for funding to be able to go to this conference. So over time, we have, although it's still on the official documents as Yet Another Society, we added the doing business as the Perl Foundation so that people would understand who we were, what we did, and likewise, we're able to use the Perl Conference name again for the conferences as well. So now the foundation name makes sense and the conference name makes sense.
Well, there's still YapCs all around the world. Or are they also shifting naming to the Perl Conference?
So North America has gone to the Perl Conference. The EU, those are the two big ones, they both have gone to the Perl Conference. Some of the other events still have used the YapC, and what we used to do is we would piggyback on the way modules are named in Perl with the kind of double colon. So we would do YapC : NA, and that would be North America, and then EU, and then Japan, Brazil, Australia. And there have been events all over the world. And so sometimes they still keep the YapC name, and sometimes they're tacking on the Perl Conference so that people know what it is.